Hi chums, me again. Right, this is a little video for Dale and Mike and wood turners actually will be interested in the last part of it. So the first thing is Dale, these are the two boyos, okay? Now this one here, you can see them there, they're sitting, this cup here will be black when it goes out, it'll be ebonized. This egg here is not as white as it was when you first saw it because all wood darkens with age and you can't do anything about that. You can put inhibitors on, but they just leave like a glassy, plasticky look on it, and it's not nice. It's better just to age with time, and it will look whiter when I put it in the black, the ebonized stand. And this is the ewe egg that we talked about, and it's got its holders finished. I had considered black for it, but it'd be too severe. It just would ruin the whole thing. So that's a 2. I'm going to raise this up now because I need to do a wee bit of handling of these to show you just exactly what the situation is with them. Okay. Now, if I can just do that and get myself here. Right, I'll lift this egg first, okay? Right, Dale, just to show you, that egg is in perfect condition, okay? There's no cracks, there's no faults, there's nothing wrong with it. I've kept it out here, where it's been here since last summer, where it's been warm and then cold, and it's got repeated warm and cold runs, so it's pretty stable now. And the egg cup is stable too. You can see there's no cracks or anything in it. It's okay as well. So that's that done. And then the egg here, this egg here, this is ewe, and you can see there's a nice grain match in that one. The grain matched up really well for me. Now, and as you can see again, there are no cracks, there's no holes, there's no splits, there's no movement. This didn't move very much at all, which is very, very unusual for you. You normally moves all over the place. Now, what I will say to you is, when you get these, put them in your basement, somewhere cool, just for a week or so, just to let them stabilize. And then whenever you take them out, don't put them in a window or above a heating vent, where they're going to get extreme heat or extreme cold. Keep them somewhere away out of direct sunshine for a while, a few months probably, until the humidity stabilizes wherever they're going to, because all our humidities are different, you know. So they're stable now, but we don't want to wreck them at this stage, you know. Now, so Dale, there you are. That's the two boyos, almost ready to go. I should have just done this week, but I was so sick I couldn't do anything at all. So this is the first time I've been in the shed since last Friday. So I'm actually quite excited, you know, because I'm getting back out again. But as I say, that's them. So everything's sound. All right. Now, Mike, you were doing burn lines on a box the other day, and I said that I've started doing burn lines on. I've started doing burn lines on the actual joint, and as you can see there, that joint is pretty neat. Now, I'll just open it up, and you can see one of the joints is actually a burn line. All right. And it means that you can pretty well disguise the joint. I'll just put it back together again. See, you can pretty well disguise the joint by doing 2 burn lines. You wouldn't know which one of those was a joint, and they look pretty natural. No, they look natural, but they look like a decoration on the outside that you wouldn't know as the 2 parts been held together. And we'll just pull it apart again. Now, the one thing I'll say to you is when you're doing this, you can see here that the timber is quite thin there. There's just a couple of mil thick at the edge there. I've gone through a couple of these with a burn line, because the burn line is about 1 millimeter deep. So if you've got about a 2 millimeter there, you're losing a lot of your strength. So just be careful where you put your burn line, so you don't go through this recess, because or the wall of the recess, because I've done that a couple of times. So that's it, Mike. Just for your information. When you're doing these, let me see if I can line it up nicely again. There's lining up there. And then that's it done. Folks, just for the rest of you, when you're doing this, if somebody gives you a little wooden box like this, or like a standard wee box, don't twist them apart. Okay, when you open the wooden box, just pop them open like that. You don't want them too tight. Wood turners like them tight enough that they pop when they open, to impress other wood turners. But you don't want to give somebody, say, a pill box, and they can't actually open it because it's too tight. So just snug is all you want, and that's just you can hear that. Just that's all you need, you know, and that's holding lovely. But when you're doing it, take it apart the way I'm doing it there. Pull them apart in one without rotating it. Because if you start this business here, you're actually sanding the tenon, and you'll eventually make it loose, and it won't work anymore. It'll just fall apart. So there's just a lovely snug fit at the moment, and there's just a wee tiny, you can just see there, just there. There's a wee tiny mark, but it's not even much to talk about. It's not a split. It's just a mark on the edge of the burn line. But I'm not going to go after that because it's a case of leave well enough alone. It just looks like part of the wood, you know. But that's basically it. All right then. Now the other thing I was going to tell you about was sanding burn lines. Okay. Now a lot of people use a wire, and they put the wire onto the work and they pull it down onto the work, and that creates the heat that burns the line. Now I'm just going to move this here. I need to turn that up. Turn that. I'm still on the tripod here, so bear with me. I can show you what I've done so far. You can see here that I've got the bandsaw. The bandsaw is up on wheels now. It's actually it seems quite high now, you know, but it's still, I'm okay. It's handy enough for me working at it, you know. It's nice height for working at. You can see everything. You have to make a mess to fix a mess, you know. But as you can see, I'm starting to get somewhere. This is my miter saw. I've got it out, and I'm going to put it in wheels as well. But we've got the dust extractors down here now. And we've got the drop box behind it. Now the next thing is going to be to move this drawer system and move this lathe out. I'd like the lathe to come across at an angle from there, but I have to remember that barrel has to come out. So I'm going to turn this here, I'm going to turn this 90 degrees, and that'll leave me space, and then put a curtain up over there, put a curtain over there to protect those shelves, another curtain, I've got a curtain there, and that'll move it over a bit just to protect if there's somebody working there, they'll not get covered from me working over here. So we're getting there, but I can't do that. Like I have to phone my mates and say, if you're calling past the house, will you stop and give me a lift? And the guys are marvellous, so they are, you know, and I know they've gone out of their way to come here to give me a wee handout. But I need them to come and help move this lathe and stuff, because I simply couldn't do that, you know. There was a time when I could have lifted that with one finger and threw it over my shoulder, but that's gone now. So all you young, fit, healthy men, someday you'll be like me. So look forward to it. It's not that bad really, you know. You get to abuse your friends. But the most important thing was we're back to burn lines. So the way I do burn lines is I use a piece of Formica, okay? So just a piece of that there, and I just use a corner, and it gives you a nice clean burn line, and it actually gives you a more control, I think, over the whole thing, and you don't have heat running up the wire into your fingers. But what I'm going to do from now on is I'm going to put a board underneath the piece of work. So say I was going to put burn lines in that piece of wood there, I put a board under it, because my friend Michael was sanding in his shed, was working with a piece of yew, and the last thing he did before he went in was put 2 burn lines on the piece of yew. He went into the house, went to bed, got up in the morning, and he came out and he looked under his lathe, and there was like a patch of oil just underneath the lathe on the floor. I thought, there's no oil in a lathe, you know. But when he got closer, it wasn't oil, it was actually smouldering sawdust, where an ember had come off the yew, where the wire had burnt it, and the ember had fallen down into the sawdust, and there wasn't enough air movement in the shed to allow combustion, otherwise the shed would have burnt down. And he was very lucky. He said it was about 6 inches or 15 centimeters in diameter, and it was just ready to go basically when he went out the next morning. So he could have lost everything. So folks, if you're burning lines, be very careful that the embers do stay alive when they hit the other sawdust, and with a bit of a draft or something, they could just get enough oxygen to get themselves going. So there you are, folks. That's your safety tip for today. Put something on the ways to stop the embers falling down. At least you know you've caught them then, you know. And a wee bit of plastic. That's a cutting board that we'd finished with, and I use it for a million different jobs. Go to your pound shop and buy a few of these plastic cutting boards. They're fantastic things. They're really handy, and you can make chucks out of them and everything, you know. So there you are. So that's where we are, folks, and I'll hopefully get out here and start getting a bit more work done, and we'll get this thing up and running and let you all see it. But that's it. So there you are, Mike. Just a wee recap for you. 2 lines, one of them on the actual line between the dividing line between the 2 boxes, and the lid thing, and Dale, there's your 2 eggs ready to go, except for I'll paint this boy maybe the weekend and then send him off next week to him. I'll give it a couple of days to settle down. Alright, so that's it. What's to turn this thing round a bit and tell you a bit about the temperature. At the moment, we say far away can I get from myself. Oh sure, my arm's only a certain length. Right, the temperature in here now is a balmy 6 degrees or 43 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's quite warm for February. February is our month for snow and ice and frost and being sort of cold, which I love. I love being cold. So, but it's not happening. It's too warm, and well, we're all saving a fortune in oil, which is good. But I'd be quite prepared to pay it to get the cold. To tell you the truth, I like the cold. Maybe it's not so much. Somebody more famous than me said, it's not the cold we like. It's the proof against the cold, and I think there's a lot of truth in that, you know. So there you are. See you later, folks. I'll bang these up later on, and we'll hopefully get back to doing a bit of work very soon. Okay, but I have to take it easy because a while ago I got sick and came out too soon and ended up in bed for 6 weeks, you know. Okay, all the best now. Bye bye.